they disappoint you. It is a man's nature to disappoint. Man is fallible. And that's why when politicians disappoint, I tell people, it is a reflection of the character of the person that disappoints. Man is fallible. But one thing that stays supreme is your capacity to understand how to move out of that situation. And most of the time, let me tell you, your basic personal thinking cannot bring you out of a wilderness experience. No matter how much you have been through, it might not give you the prerequisite skill to face your new challenge. Every new challenge in life is independent of the last challenge. There are no two the same problems. That's why it is bad to mitigate another man's problem. But what is most important is your relationship with the person that can help you go through that circumstance in life. You see, because after all is said and done, it is your relationship with God that will open a new vista for you in your life. Please, do not lose God when everything is dark. Because I tell you what, more dark days will come. Not every day will be a good day. Our country, Nigeria, is passing through a dark period, but good days will come. This is not the end of Nigeria. You know, I hear people say, end Nigeria. Are you God? This is not the end. I know a lot of people argue with me that Rufai, they've been saying it's going to get better. Yes, it's going to get better. And we don't see anything. Yes, it's going to get better. Because when you hit rock bottom, you can only go up. One thing wilderness will teach you is a lot about yourself. A lot of you don't know yourselves. You do not know what you will do until the trials come. I once saw a man that said, see, when I get to government, I will not steal money. But when he got to government, he started stealing money. And I told him, I said, see, I told you, you do not know yourself. Your wilderness experience is to make you understand who you are. For you to achieve a new level of success, the personal understanding of yourself is a panacea to opening all locked doors. Trials, tribulations, apologies, wilderness will build an innate level of self-discovery in you. But the question is, do people take out time to understand who they are when they pass through trials? Never leave a trial period without understanding who you are and the lesson from that trial period. In other words, never make a crisis go to waste. Never you forget that the tribulation is there to help you at first understand yourself, then secondly, build on the bad parts or the good parts you have seen about yourself. A lot of you listening to me now, you do not know the potential you have in you, potential in them. I went somewhere yesterday called the Good Beach around Oniru, a beach hang out. The young men that set up the place, beautiful place, were people that got fed up of their jobs. So it has to be said that the things you are getting tired of might just be opening a new door and a new vista about you. Do not think for once that the loss of your job, your marriage, anything dear to you is the end of your life. See, for every door that gets shut against you, there are 4 different doors that are waiting to be opened unto you. The thing as human beings is you will never think of any open doors because you're so concerned about the doors that are shut against you. It's fine. But the question is, would you rather wallow in the pain of the doors shut against you or look forward to the possibility of an open door as you go through the wilderness? A lot of people don't believe, but let me tell you something. In 5 years' time to come, you will see that losing that job was the best thing that happened to you. Now, you might not see it. You know why? Because everything around you is fixed on that job. It is what is in front of you that you think is the biggest thing about you. But I tell you what, there's more to you than you can ever think or imagine. It has to be said, the best of you is yet to come. So the wilderness period is helping you look inward and deeply about who you are. You do not know who you are yet. When people say, I know myself, I laugh at them. The Yorubas have a saying, Eni ija odeba lo npere lokunrin. What that means is, if you have not seen challenges, you call yourself a man. We don't finish learning things about life. We keep learning as we go on. Life is incumbent on your capacity to learn quickly. There are some things you will never learn now, that the learning will come in the next 5 years. There are some trials and tribulations that are already ahead of you that you don't even know of. Every human being will carry their cross one way or the other. But the most important thing is, when you're carrying it, is Jesus carrying it with you? Wilderness will come. Brokenness will come. Sad times will come. But it will not last. Because there are one there to help you understand who you are. So the first thing sad moment does to you is understanding. There's some things you think you know now that you don't know. It's not about talking smart. It's not about having knowledge. There are a lot of marriage counselors that can't even counsel their own marriage. It's not about speaking well. It's not about reading it in a book. There are some things that are beyond your knowledge. Don't deceive yourself. There are many things that are beyond my knowledge. There are so many things I'll never understand. But it is through going through that experience with God that you start to understand it. You will never be able to understand the pain somebody that is going through cancer has, because you don't have it. And you'll never be able to understand the pain somebody that is going through malaria has at that point in time, because it's not your malaria. And that's why if you have gone through circumstances and trial, treat people with love and dignity. One of the greatest problems we have in our country today is that a lot of people talk as though they don't have problems too in their lives, and they are so quick to judge others. It is easy to judge others. Very good. But the truth has to be said. When people judge you too, please do not complain. Please don't. Because our wilderness experiences are different in life. You don't know the turn your life will take. But you see, in any turn your life takes, I can tell you for free that there's a consoler in chief called Jesus. He can walk you through that situation. He knows the end from the beginning. Question is, do you have the capacity to lean on him? He has seen the solution before your problem even started. So, don't ever think for once that any problem is there to destroy you. It will look like it. It will come with destruction. But it's not going to destroy you. You will come out on the other side and you'll be better for it. Tough times do not last. Victimization do not last. For people that victimize you, very soon they themselves too will become victims. Let's be careful about life. For everybody that victimizes other people in Nigeria, are they not victims today of some circumstance? Even if you're not a victim of poverty, you'll be a victim of age. Ìgbà ò lè lọ bí òréré. Time can never continue forever. But the question is, what you do per time is what will become the legacy you give. And you cannot do all of this if you don't know Christ. Because you see, there are many things your personal knowledge will not be able to carry. We know in parts, like Apostle Paul said. The best student in geography might not necessarily be the best student in biology. The best student in geography might know a little bit of biology, but might not be the best student in biology. So if you think that everything about you is the best ever, wilderness experience will help you understand that the greatest form of beauty is how you can bring beauty out of others. Nobody has it all. No two circumstances are the same. If you understand that, you will not cheat people. Because it is God that brings you out of your wilderness. I see people that cheat other people because they are going through their wilderness experience. I see even men of God that collect money to pray for people. And I look at them, I laugh. And I say in my mind, I say, don't worry. When your wilderness comes, people too will deceive you and collect money to pray for you. Because what he fails to realize that prayers are free. It is God that makes them possible. So it is a privilege to even be there for somebody when they are down. There is no point taking glory for rising a dead horse. Because with or without you, people will rise up. and God will be with them. If you have the privilege to lift somebody up, lift them up. And stop shouting to the high heavens that you did it. God will still do it either ways. But if you cannot lift them up in their wilderness experience, let them be. There's a popular saying, Orishabu ligbemi, ujeshemi bo shebami. Deity, if you can't make me better, don't make me worse. There are lots of people that go into people's life to make them worse. There are a lot of politicians that go into their constituents to make the constituents worse off. You think you are doing somebody? No, you are doing yourself. Because there's a repercussion for everything in life. For every money you were supposed to use to build roads that you stole, for every blood that was shed on that road in an accident, the blood is on you. So keep deceiving yourself and think you're evil, you can go scot-free with it. Like I said, even nothing catches up with you. Life, age will catch up with you. My very good friend will say, if you don't know your age, very soon your age will know you. And that's the thing about wilderness experience. Everybody will go through their own, but the first step of understanding the wilderness experience is that it is there to bring something out of you. The question is, are you willing enough to get the lesson? Are you willing enough to listen to the lesson? Does it mean anything to you at all? Are you purging yourself? Are you emancipating yourself for societal slavery? You cannot be bigger than what you know. So if you know that, then the more you know, the bigger you become. Also be weary of thinking you know it all. Sad times will come. Our Lord Jesus didn't promise us a gospel of bread and butter. He said terrible times will come. Sad times will come. But the question is, those sad times are there to make you better. Never for once feel you're alone. Never for once feel you're alone. And for some time in your mind, never for once think I am a Liverpool fan, because I'm saying never walk alone. I'm sure I got you laughing there, just to ease you up. But never for once think you're alone. God is with you in the wilderness. I have not had a child for 10 years. God sees it. He knows it. He knows the things you'll never know. Yours is to aspire. Yours is to crave for a better day. But it's not you that will make it happen. It's God that will make it happen. All you need to say and pray is, God, lift me out of this. And you believe what God says. That settles it. It's a song I like so much. Sing in church, you say, God said it, and I believed it. That settles it, and that's what settles it. So in knowing yourself in your wilderness experience, it is also knowing that God has settled a lot about you. You see, these things I'm telling you today, I didn't know them too at a point in my life. So woe betide me when I come here and act like I know it all. Experiences, wilderness taught me. And I'm still going through my own wilderness experience. Because really, you can't have it all. The only place you can have it all is in Christ. And when they say we have it all in Christ, is the understanding that is on Christ the solid rock you stand, all other grounds are sinking sand. You can have it all. The rich also cries. I'm sure you remember that popular series on Nigerian television in the 90s, The Rich Also Cries. But most importantly, you need to know as you go through the wilderness, on Christ is the solid rock you stand. All other grounds are sinking sand. And understanding this begins to help you shape your new perspective. Message, you can listen to it again on Anchor Podcast, Rufai Speaks. I'll put it on my Twitter page at Rufai the Fire, RUFFYDFIRE. I'm processing it, and I apologize to people that we can't set them up on Instagram Live yet. I'll just see if I can do the last bit of the show on Instagram Live when I start to take calls. Okay. I'm on YouTube Live, I should say, so you can watch me there. Voice of the People 90.3 on YouTube. And thank you so much to all of our subscribers. In a week, we got over close to 20,000 subscribers. So thank you all. I mean, thank you guys so much. Keep subscribing to YouTube Live to get all our great content. And it just promises to be wonderful. But please, I have to repeat. Be careful. Be careful. Never you think that anything is there to ruin you forever. That's why you must be hopeful. You must be hopeful that things can get better. Because you see, the greatest thing wilderness will take away from you is your capacity to hope. And once you don't hope any longer, nothing can happen. The reason why you're still alive is because you hope. And I'm saying this today because I have seen too many people commit suicide. I've heard of too many people commit suicide because they don't hope any longer in the wilderness experience. But God is with you. People can catch us there. It is not the end of your life. I'll still expatiate in wilderness in the course of next week. But it's not the end of your life. You have to understand that. There are still more years in your years. It's not the end of your life. And I just want to reach out this morning to everybody at some point of wilderness in their lives or the other. To anybody that feels hope is all gone and everything is all lost. I want to tell you that the best of your years are yet to come. Don't kill yourself. Don't. The first level of wilderness is there for you to understand who you are. I'll also touch on, how to get out of it. Don't kill yourself. Seek help. Death is not an option. I'd like to open my phone lines now. Please, if you ever thought of killing yourself, call me up. And you feel like the end has come, and you want to kill yourself, call me up. I don't know why God is saying I should reach out to somebody this morning. I don't know who that person is, but you're hearing the sound of my voice. You could even have a slight thought about it. 0700 903 903 903. We are going through wilderness. Listen, we are all broken people. I am broken. You are broken out there. But it's our brokenness that can help support one another. So, you understanding today that your wilderness experience is for you to understand yourself, then that doesn't become an option. I got a call coming in. Hello, how are you? Wonderful Sunday morning to you. Hello. Hello? Hello? Okay, the phone line has gone off. 0700 903 903. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Please turn up the volume of the radio set. 0700 903 903 903. See, granted, with all going on in this country, with all the pain and all of that, it'll make you feel like that sometimes. But taking your life should not be the option. Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you? Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, please. Turn off the radio set there. Turn off the radio set so you can hear me.
Yeah, I've turned it off.
Good. What's your name?
Yes, sir. I felt the same a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I was seriously sitting upside down from my siblings, actually. Last year, all alone, I was one, children, everything. Nobody accepted me. And I had project outside in that house. So, that at the end of the year,
I can't hear you well. The phone
Hello?
line isn't clear.
yeah. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I said last year, I was serious, even this year, I was seriously facing it hell. My dad was sick. I had an accident in November 24th, 2020. March 14, my dad started sickness, prostrate, to be precisely. I asked my younger sister to rush him to hospital, FMC, which she did. I was spending the money on him, spending on my leg. I got broke. Then at the end of the day, nobody in a family of 7, nobody assisted me. I have a project I was doing at hand, which I vowed that before December I must complete it. At no way I'm moving to avoid house rent this year. But funny enough, they all gathered against me, started fighting me. I lost the man May 6 last year. Then I was working with Bureau de Change. Bureau de Change also stopped July 27th, starting last year. So the whole problems was so much on me, heavy on me. I went for the burial. They were even calling me to come and do the burial of my dad. I was like, what is this? September 5, all of them gathered and beat me up. Because I asked them the money, 3 million naira I spent on him. I'm not the only child. Let us share it. Give me. I'm a family man. Return back my own part. But all these things of no avail. I tried all I could. My uncle supported me. One of their step uncle was against me that I have money, that they should bring me down because the wife confessed that. So to just shortcut the story short, during the burial November 4th last year, they poisoned me on my leg. They shoot arrow on me. I came back. I was crying. My BP was rising to the extent of 285. So along the line, we did the burial. To God be the glory. All my rights, they denied me, which I dropped money to for the burial. coming back here, no job, nothing. The children have to stop school, house rent, all those things. I think around February this year, I was going back to Ireland, from the country to Ireland. My mind was telling me, sit by the door side of you, so that if there's anything, you jump down. That will be the end of life. You avoid all those things. So I think on 3 occasions, but each time that spirit comes, I thought about my daughter. That this day I always call her my princess. How will I now use her and the siblings? I just thank God. Then I've been at home.
It is well with
you. Go out. Going out is even problem.
It is well.
Because when I calculate the transportation I'm going to spend, going to Ireland and coming back is problem.
It is well. What work do you learn properly? What work did you learn to do? I say, what work did you learn to do properly? What can you do?
Anything.
Anything is nothing.
I'm planning. Yeah, I'm planning if I can raise any money, because even the building I put it on sale, but since March, since February I put it for sale. Let me sell it and raise up money, at least to cater for these children, send them back to school.
Okay.
Nobody.
You know what
I want to start up. No, sir.
You know what you're gonna do for me? I want you to call your number up on air. I don't normally do this. Call your number up on air. Please help us out there. Reach out to this man. But one thing I can assure you is that once you go through your wilderness experience, all that the cankerworm has eaten, God will restore. And you'll be amazed at the restoration of God in your life. I think the line has dropped, but he can call me back, please. This is Impact with Rufai. You can call me back, and this is all I do. I impact people. This is what God sent me to do. So 0700 903 903 903. It's not the end of your life. Whatever the cankerworm, the palm worm, any kind of worm is eating in your life can be restored. So never for once think that's your end. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Bless you. What's your name?
I'm Mr. Israel.
Israel, where are you calling me from?
From Ejigo.
Great.
I'm very happy listening to you this morning.
God bless you.
But I appreciate you. May the God continue to bless you.
Amen.
You are directly talking to me. I am devastated. But as I think maybe I can text message to explain everything in detail to you, so that you will be able to, because it will take time. I am going through a lot.
Not a problem. Send messages to our WhatsApp. This number you're calling me on is also WhatsApp. Send messages there. It is well.
Maybe I can briefly say something now. Please, yeah. I returned from my job. I'm a teacher, but I don't want to teach anymore. I've taught for a long while. Nothing came out of it. I'm a graduate. But what happened is that when I left the job, I thought of setting up my business. But I sold my car so that I can set it up. And I know the car will not be enough. The money will not be enough. So I'm waiting for my pension to come. Since February now that I've been trying to get the pension, he said I have two things. I have to reconcile the two together. Instead, they have been delaying it. The money I sold, the car money I sold, I spend the money. I'm able to get shop, because I wanted to be selling oil. I wanted to be selling diesel and oil, so that I will establish myself. I don't want to teach any longer. But before, I wanted to join the money of the car that I sold with the pension I will get, so that I can start up the business. I can tell you that because they delayed the pension, I cannot get it. It's only that shop I'll be able to get. The remaining money I spent it on feeding and everything. My children and others. That is the
Okay. One thing about your business is, can you start where you are? Is there anything you have at law in money to start where you are?
As I am now, I don't have money. It's only the pension, and I don't know when they are going to do the cancellation of the thing that I will get the money back. So the shop is there. The shop is there now reading. After I got the shop April, So I've taken away 2 months now. I have not done anything this
Okay. Okay. Maybe I don't know. Maybe next time, man, what you'll have done is try to go out and act as a middleman. If you get people that want to buy products, go and take it from another person and be making, the middle income out of it. I think that's the best way to start. Because you see, one thing about life I know is that you will never get everything you want when you want to start anything.
I know. I never knew that the pension would be so delayed. That is why I wanted to join the money together so that I can start the business in a wholesale form.
So one thing is certain. Delay is not denial. Okay. Whatever the delay is, go back, look at it properly. There's a way you can start out there. Look at it.
Yes, that is what the problem. That is what is giving me. I've been home now since March. I don't go anywhere.
So go back and look at it. There's always a way.
Go back and look for at what?
Go back and look at any way you can start with what you have. There's always a way. You are not hopeless. I can hear you. You are not hopeless. Go back and look at it.
Look at I should go back to teaching.
No, go back and look at how you can start this business. If possible, if you have to go back to teaching, go back to teaching for a while. At least get income running, get something running.
Okay.
Okay. It is well. It is well with you. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Great to have you.
Good morning.
Morning, yeah.
Yeah, is this VOP?
Yeah. This is VOP 90.3, yeah.
All right, I'm Ralph calling from Lagos.
Yeah.
I'm actually listening to a program live here on YouTube. The one Rufai is inquiry.
Thank you so much.
So, yeah, I wanted to call in and share my story with you.
Yeah. I'm listening to you.
Okay, am I right now?
Yeah, you're on. Yeah, you're on. You're on there.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Yeah.
I've been an ardent follower of your program right from my right days. What you want to.
Thank you.
I just came back from church now and opened my money to see you on my screen.
Thank you.
So I'm actually a software developer. I was based in Enugu, then eventually I moved down to Lagos for greener pasture. Up until last year, October, yes, things were doing well for me. I was getting contracts and all that. But since this year, I don't know what's actually happening. It has been a downtime for me. And it has pushed me into depression. I don't know. I've lost my clients and there's just no way out for me right now. And the problem keeps compiling. So of the truth, I'm actually depressed, but I don't actually know to share with you. That was why I called your program.
Thank you so much. If you're depressed, you need to get help. You need to get help. But one thing I'll tell you, before you get help, this is a phase.
Okay.
The God that was there for you in the good times will still bring good times your way. All right? You do not. It is overwhelming. I understand. It is sad. But you do not need to think for once that there are no possibilities. All right? There's a downtime for you now. It doesn't mean it's going to be like this forever. The question is, in your moments of prayer, you should ask your God, what can you do? You'll be amazed. Things like the very small ideas can help you in your life. And there are so many things you can do. All right?
Yeah.
So feeling depressed takes your power away to think. You just need to keep trying. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it will happen.
Okay, no problem. So I'll just keep putting the effort.
Keep trying. People you have not called before, call them up. You never know where it will come from. You never know where possibilities and solutions will come from. But you need to keep trying.
Okay.
You need to keep trying.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Great to have you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Rufai, I'm very grateful on this program. I even called on the last program. But I sent my number that I read marine engineering. I cannot get a job. I'm doing Okada since 2016.
You read marine and
so I cannot get
what
a job.
experience do you have in marine engineering?
I have ending marine, and I went on board. I did my COS at Maritime Nigeria Naval Command Apapa.
So you did your COS.
After that,
So after that, what other experience do you have? Oh, we lost that. So sad. Please call me back. Call me back, please. 0700 903 903 903. Yeah, a lot of people can't hear the callers on my Instagram page. Apologies for that. It's because it's connected here. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning.
Hi, morning. How are you? How's it going?
Fine.
Great to have you. What's your name? Please, can you turn off the volume of your radio set for me? Hello?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Go ahead. Talk to me.
Well, actually, my mind, I've been feeling depressed for a very long time.
Sorry about that, but the phone lines are so there. So you need to turn down the volume, all right? 0700 903 903 903. From 10 o'clock, I've got a friend of mine, politician Daniel Bwala. He'll come and answer some questions on behalf of the APC as we talk national development, and I'm going to have two sets of guests. So he joins me from London. I'll ring him up by 10. That's in about 10 minutes from now, so wait for that. Hello, how are you?
Hello, sir.
Great.
I'm fine.
Great to have you.
Now cut off the other side.
Oh, okay, so you were the one, right? So I
Yes,
feel
sir.
moved.
My number on yes.
Yeah, so your number is 0805 968 7617, right? Is that your number, Ifeanyi?
Yes, that's
0805 968 7617. So that's Ifeanyi's number. The man that said he's been through a lot. If you want to reach out, go ahead, reach out. Right? Reach out to him. And also, I also encourage people. It's not a thing about deceiving people because we've also tried to reach. That's why I don't normally do it. We also try to reach out to people. They call and say they've got a need, they've got this, they've got that, and when you give them the chance, they become funny. Don't become funny to anybody. You just lose whatever they could have done for you. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Great to have you. The volume of your radio set is loud, and you have to turn it off.
I've turned it off, sir. I've just done it now.
Good. What's your name?
It's Mr. Kingsley from Lagos State.
Where in Lagos State?
I'm in Djibouti, local government precisely.
Good.
Yes, sir. Please, I'm just calling from. I have some idea which I want to share with you on the radio.
No, but you know I'm not taking ideas today. I just asked a question. Have you ever felt any bit suicidal because you were going through stuff? That's what I'm asking. It's not an idea bazaar.
Sorry, sir. I'm a graduate of MCO.
And everybody's a graduate and they don't have a job in Lagos. We know that. But it's not an ideas bazaar. It's just you sharing what is hurting you deep inside and what is making you feel sad. So it's not an open call for ideas. Let's be careful.
Sorry, sir. Let me just share what I'm going through right now.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
It's all right. I'm a graduate of MCO.
Yeah.
I studied political science study.
Okay. What school did you study that from? What school did you study political science?
College of Education, Casino, Bwala State.
Okay.
And my junior brother is a degree holder in he studied business administration.
Okay.
In Benue State University, my father as well.
Okay.
So I lost my dad, and my dad we had no brother, no sister. So when I lost the dad, everything just turned upside down. Now, when my dad was alive, he was the one trying to show that those people will pass out through the school. So when I lost my dad, I was the one taking everybody under my head. So the things become so much for me. So I ran down to Lagos. When I came to Lagos, I learned laundry work. So in that laundry work, I started getting me some little bit changed. So throughout that process, I was using this money through the laundry shop to assist my family. And all of a sudden, the shop I rented in the local government, unfortunately for me, things turned down completely. When I went for my father's burial, I couldn't even afford even to pay the house to the rent again. So as a stand now, I even called my junior brother that has just graduated from school. He's with me here, and I have been moving around since then just to look for a job where he can also put a head. Now at least when he got something doing, he will also assist me with the burden on my head. We at least succeed. And we have not been able to get to any other way. And if somebody can even help me to set my things on that, I'll be very grateful.
Okay, noted. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time. Yep. All right. So, 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Great to have you.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, morning. How's it going? Talk to me.
Fine.
Yeah.
I've been feeling depressed for a very long time.
Why?
Because of what I did in the past, and there is no one around me that I can share my feelings to. Because of what I did in the past was so bad.
What did you do?
Like masturbating.
You masturbate?
Yes.
Do you still masturbate?
No. Like I made a promise to God long time ago. But now I repeated the same thing. I'm now scared that Lord will not be able to forgive me again for what I did.
No, God will forgive you, but you have to stop masturbating. You have to make a conscious effort not to masturbate again. But God will forgive you. For the fact that you repeat an offense you said you wouldn't do again doesn't mean God will not forgive you. He will forgive you. But you need to stop masturbating. You need to get help against masturbating. So you're a woman and you touch yourself, right? You masturbate.
Well, I don't used to feel comfortable. I'm about to give up, and anytime I'm always praying, I used to wish for death. I feel like dying right now.
No, you don't have to feel like dying, please. The problem here is that you masturbate, and you've prayed to God to forgive you, but you also have to try as much as possible to stop masturbating. So you need to get some things away from you. So take, for instance, you watch pornography, right?
Yeah.
You watch pornography on your phone?
No. It started when I was small.
How old were you when you started masturbating?
Huh?
How old were you when you started masturbating?
It's been long. Like, the people around me were the one that taught me into this, and my parents used to be at home when all those people comes around me. And these people are like my fellow girls. They even senior me by far, and the maids that my daddy used to bring to my house, they are also among them. So I'm finding it difficult to let go of this masturbation.
To masturbation, okay. So are the people still around you? Is the maid still with you?
No. My daddy has sent them away already.
Okay, so they've all gone. Okay.
Yes.
That's a good place to start. Secondly, you need to try as much as possible to get everything away from you that helps you or makes you think of masturbating. Secondly, you need to know that God will forgive you, for masturbating, but you need to try as much as possible not to do it again.
Okay. But as I've already made
how old are you now?
promise to me that first time, but now I've broken it. Like,
it doesn't matter. God will forgive you. He understands.
Okay.
Yeah, he understands. But how old are you now?
I'm 18.
Okay, you're 18. You masturbate, but know that God will forgive you, but try not to do it again.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, it is well.
Thank you.
Bless you. Yeah. Thanks, yeah. We'll still see if we can take a couple of calls right here. A lot of calls are coming in. At some point, you feel down, but the truth is, it's not the end of your world. And God will take you through that circumstance. Hello, how are you?
Hello, good morning, sir.
Great to have you. How are you, sir?
I called earlier. My credit was, I just got out the call.
Okay.
So, like I said, I read marine engineering, and I went to Western Profile. So,
yeah. So, do you have any experience at all? That's the question I'm asking.
And I said I did my theory at Western Maritime Naval Commander.
Your service was like 6 months, right?
I did like maybe 4 months. We always went on board with ships, boards, Navy town, all around sometimes because I work with Navy. So we didn't have much practical like that. It's when I was discouraged by the NPA staff. Since that's when I'm 16, I've been riding Okada. I got married with 2 sons. So now the Okada has been banned in Lagos State. I cannot further working with the Okada. I just need someone that can buy me Uber. So I will maybe installment.
How about you going back to your job, your marine job that you have experience in?
And that's the only problem we are having.
Okay. Noted. I've noted this. I've noted this. So your number is what is it again? 080-493-0101, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I noted that down. All right. Yeah. I noted that down. I mean, we'll only do what we can do here. 0700 903 903 903. Impact Rufai. We're streaming live too on YouTube, so you can get a chance to watch it anywhere in the world. Great Sunday morning to you. Bless you. How are you? Oh, we lost that. Right. So it's topping up to 10. Then I get a chance to do... Okay, let me answer this call. It's somebody from the UK. Hi, how are you? How's it going?
Hi. Is that Voice of the People?
Yeah, this is Voice of the People. Pleasure to have you. What's your name?
Hi, my name is Philip Chira. I'm calling from the United Kingdom. I'm speaking to Rufai.
Yeah, this is Rufai. Great to have you, sir.
Yeah, Rufai, I've been looking for an opportunity to speak to you for a long time, even on Arise TV.
Thank you so much.
So I really appreciate what you're doing, and I really appreciate who you are, the person you are, your uprightness and your truthfulness. I'm from Igbo, from Anambra State, and I know you are a Yoruba man, and I have listened and followed you for a few years now. And I can see that you are very honest when it comes to speaking objectively to issues, and or even on your views on political issues. You are very upright, and you are always on the people's side. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep standing on the path of truth, as you are doing right now. And I pray that Almighty God will continue to strengthen you in everything you do.
Thank you so much. Amen. Bless you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for that. Let me call Daniel and see how I can connect with him. Hey, Chief, how are you?
I'm good. Good morning.
Good. How's it going? So I've got Daniel Bwala, top politician. He's right here with me on the radio. But what I want to do quickly is let me see if I can use the WhatsApp line of the station to call you so it can be clearer. So it just goes directly into the trunk. Yemi, if you can help me here, so much appreciated. So we'll just it just goes directly into the trunk. So we can talk about a couple of issues here this morning. So Daniel Bwala joins me from the UK, and so sorry that I'm just keeping you on the line for a bit. How's it going, though? Oh yeah, good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the number you'll see now is a VOP number. So it's yeah. So it's a special number. So we'll just use it to call you from the radio station, and we'll get to connect. There's a lot to catch up on politically and every way. But maybe let's just start catching up before we call you with the other number. There are a lot of things happening politically, Daniel. I want you to help me unpack this morning. Only yesterday we had okay, so we're calling you with the other number now. So you just connect to the other number now. Okay, I'll just caught up on this. Yeah. Oh, good. Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Excellent. So there are a lot of things I want you to help me unpack. Number one will be this new story that is coming out about the CSO saying that the candidate of the APC has a lot to answer about his age. I want you to talk as regards that, set the record straight. What is going on? There's a discrepancy about age. There's a discrepancy about, what's it called? Papers filed. Did he go to primary school? There's a story making the rounds that he didn't go to primary school and secondary school. All of that was not submitted. So we've been going back and forth as regards this. And the papers were awash. I mean, if you check the front page of This Day this morning, you'll see the strong reaction by Bayo and Onuga, as regards this. Right. This. So did he go to, the presidential candidate of the APC, Bwala Tinubu, did he go to primary school or secondary school? What is happening as regards that?
So, first of all, thank you for having me, and good morning to your viewers or listeners.
Yeah, also viewers, because they're watching on YouTube Live.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, the constitutional requirement for vying for political office, I think, is clear. Regarding age, the Constitution only prescribes the minimum. So you cannot be under a certain age to vie for office in Nigeria, but there is no limitation as to the maximum. I think the question here is whether or not the information he provided in the forms that he submitted to INEC were contradictory as regarding his age or as regarding the schools that he went to. While I may not be in a better position to ascertain the veracity or otherwise of the information in that form, but I would say that if a political office holder or anybody vying for an office in Nigeria provides information to a relevant body such as INEC as the regulator of election in Nigeria, it is expected that the information you provide should be regular and in accordance with the law. However, because the decisions of court over time, and I think Supreme Court has settled that INEC cannot disqualify a candidate. So, for example, if I present documents that are contradictory or falsified, INEC still doesn't have the power to disqualify me. However, the Independent National Electoral Commission is obliged to, or rather obligated, to publish all the information I provided on their notice board. The idea behind that is that any person who wishes to dispute the information I provided can readily see it displayed and then can prepare himself for possibly going to court for litigation, or in the outcome of the election, he can challenge that as part of the grounds for disqualifying me in that election. So that is what INEC does, to publish. And I'm sure that the information circulating and, of course, the conversation is premised on the discovery based on the publication of INEC of the information that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu submitted now, and they try to contrast that with the one he submitted previously.
Yes.
It appears in his previous election struggle, he provided information to the extent of his primary schools, the primary school he attended, the secondary school he attended, as well as his age, and of course the university he attended in the US. But now, because after he assumed office as a governor, I remember it was challenged some time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to avoid that, and in compliance with the provision of the law, that a person vying for the post of the presidency shall have attained educational qualification that is not below secondary school. So the Constitution prescribes the minimum standard that the person must have attained or acquired education that is up to the standard of secondary school. And I think in the Supreme Court, Court of Appeal and Supreme Court decided in 2019 election of Buhari that the secondary school as raised as a question does not have to be the production of certificate, but evidence that you have actually taken certain courses that is up to that. Now, if a candidate, I'll put it in these two ways, if a candidate who has gone through primary school, secondary school, and the university wishes to vie for office and decides to present only his university certificate in the form that he has provided to INEC, he has not violated the law because he has provided another qualification that is not below the secondary school standard as evidence or as held by the court of law. But where you can challenge that is because the previous information, and I want to be clear about that, so I'm giving you information now as a lawyer, not as a politician that will have to be partisan. If you have provided information previously, that means that information is a public document, it's a public record. And it stays infinitum. That is to say, it can always be referred to and it can always be challenged. So if you now provide information to the same commission that somebody wishes to challenge on the basis that the present information provided now contradict the previous information, that person by law has a right to challenge that. And in fact, the court has held that the person to challenge in this instance is not necessarily somebody who is running against you in a political office, but any Nigerian citizen can raise that.
So what you're saying is now that the candidate of the APC Bwala team can be taken to court based on what he presented, because a lot of people are saying in the last elections he had to be governor, he presented a certain school and secondary school, but now he says nothing is about that. And there's another story that says, his things were burnt at a point during the Nadeko struggle and all of that. So you're saying people can take him to court on that, actually?
Yeah, anybody who thinks that somebody who is, because when you're vying for a public office, you're going to be a public officer, and that means you're a public property. So a Nigerian citizen will be affected one way or the other by your executive act should you be elected as the president of Nigeria. So he has a locus standi on the basis of that. He can challenge you even before the election to say that the documents you have provided are contradictory or they are falsified. But don't forget that the law, ground for disqualifying a candidate, the law has stipulated that. The fact that documents are contradictory is not enough unless you can show that the contradiction results in lies. Of course, lie under oath, because when you submit the document, you are also expected to file an affidavit substantiating every document that is submitted. So in his previous affidavit in support of the document he submitted was when he said while he was abroad that his house was vandalized or looted in the struggle, and then some of his documents were taken away. Now, that is one part of the argument. But as regards his present situation, because he submitted his form without filling the column for primary and secondary school, and I have heard one argument that because he did not state his primary school and secondary school, he lied under oath. No, that does not amount to lying under oath. Just because you did not state it. Yes, just because you omitted to state it. It is only when, for example, in the form it says you must provide your primary or secondary school certificate or information regarding that, and then you leave it column, then in law, you are presumed to have admitted that you did not go to primary and secondary school. But if you carefully read that portion, it did not say you must provide. It only provides the column.
So the questions a lot of people are asking, and please, those viewing you on YouTube Live, Facebook, and the likes, you can just go ahead and send your questions to 0700 903 903 90. That's the number to call. No, but you can send your questions more likely, because I'm using the same phone line to call Daniel. You can send your questions to, WhatsApp on that line, so we can take it and we can have extensive conversation as regards that. But a lot of people are saying, why is it that in 1999 he gave a certain school and in 2022 there was no school there? So what is happening here? That's what a lot of people are asking.
Yes, the facts you can bring to fore in probably analyzing this would be now the contention that arose since his 1999 documentation. I have heard and have read comments by George Bode George, who also said that he went to the school that Asiwaju claimed to have gone, and that there was no such thing as the exact school that he presented in 1991.
So that was the St. Paul School, a lawyer or something, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Then yesterday, I also saw a statement credited to one Professor Aribisala Oso, who also stated that regarding Chicago University as well as the school, that Asiwaju's claim of the school he went to actually was false, because there was no such thing as the exact school he mentioned in the form he has provided. But you see, this is one word against another. When you have a dispute of this nature, it is only the court of law that can determine. Public opinion is important because perception is everything. But if you want to certify the position of the law regarding a matter, you don't stop at opinion of people or perception of people. The perception and opinion must be argued before the court, and the court will look at the documents, verify them as against the provision of the law, and arrive at that. And it seems after he became governor, that was challenged in the court of law. But I don't think there was a decision, so to speak, regarding that. If there was, then that decision can be held to bar him.
So, because I think that time they said the state House of Assembly exonerated him. That was what was said at that time.
Right. So the exoneration and the evidence of exoneration, which must be in an official gazette, can be part of the document you present in court to defend himself. But you know that facts emerge and facts are dealt with as they emerge. Now, there is 2022 Electoral Act with fresh provisions regarding certain qualification, grant for qualification, disqualification, either on the educational point of view or from the natural point of view. So until the court gets the opportunity to decide on this, it remains at this point, in my view, political spinning by either opponents or people with the hope that they will undermine or discredit or whittle his influence, his rising influence in this political process, which is permissible in our society. But until the court decides on that, you cannot hold that as a law to say you can exclude that. In fact, I heard somebody saying INEC should disqualify him. I said the person is probably oblivious of the law now. INEC lacks the power to disqualify a candidate. However, let me put it this way. If, and I have to use the big word if these claims by individuals is true, that one, he lied under oath, or two, he falsified information, then APC might be in a very deep trouble going into the election, because if he wins the election, one of the grounds for disqualification in our law, this is one of the, this complaint by people is one of those grounds, which means that the candidate who comes second in the election will coast to victory by the determination of the court if this is to be substantiated. So
if in a scenario, you're saying if he wins the election, then people might still go to court. You see, because a lot of people are saying, okay, so Rosalind Johnson on our YouTube page, you say, what's going on? What's all this? Why all this inconsistency? Why the manipulation? Why all the lies? Who is Bwala Tinubu? Where is he from? Who is parents? Where's his ancestry? These are the questions a lot of people are asking.
And again, anybody who is vying for post, you are obligated to provide this information to the Nigerian people. And in fact, you're running for the post of the president, the highest office of the land. If certain information about you are a trouble to the nation, then you're a threat to national security. So that the people are demanding to know your background, where you come from, your educational qualification, your history, and everything is quite in order. And I think that the candidate at this point, he is not obligated to go to the masses and begin to give documents. But in the course of campaign, the fourth estate of the realm, the media, are the ones that will be required in the given circumstance to begin to hold those who are vying for posts to account, to explain to the Nigerian people this contradiction that are emerging every day. There are issues of concern, and this type of things, if not cleared, usually affects the outcome of election. So their question is proper. He is to provide this information in the course of campaign, but you cannot say at this point that he's disqualified at all. No, he's not disqualified in the eyes of the law.
Okay, so he's not disqualified in the eyes of the law. Secondly, I also want to ask you, there were other also stories making the rounds over the weekend as regards, allegations here and there, broad range of allegations on corruption and the likes, and people are citing a certain, EFCC case from last year and all of that. I mean, what's the clear air on all of that?
The concept of corruption actually has now come to be like a locus classicus in Nigeria. There is virtually no politician vying for posts at all levels of government that will not have one question or the other regarding corruption. And I think the concept is also practiced even in Senate climes. I remember when Joe Biden was running for office, it was raised against him. They said he corrupted himself by compromising the information surrounding the Sun and China and contract and all that. So people can ask. EFCC will be required to provide the document. But EFCC is also very careful, because once election season unfolds and people emerge as presidential or gubernatorial candidates or political parties, no agency, no anti-graft agency of government will be sensible to begin to make arrests, because it can be inferred as persecution rather than prosecution. Usually, even FBI, when the election started, that's why forever this former FBI director, I can't remember the name, was accused of interfering. James Comey. Yes, James Comey was accused of interfering with the election of America by providing certain information about Hillary Clinton at the time they were going into the primary, and ultimately affected her. So agencies are very careful to avoid that. But at the end of the day, because you see, let me state this, and from the neutral point of view, we have been in Nigeria. EFCC has not taken any step against anybody that today is being challenged on the ground of corruption. As soon as elections start, people then spew it on and then expect that the commission will go into action to make arrests of people. Commission cannot do that in the given circumstance, but any evidence you have is material, is effective, and can be used against that individual. Don't forget that although the Electoral Act does not stipulate corruption as part of the ground for disqualification, but because corruption is also a prerequisite for prosecution, as long as you are not covered by immunity, you can always be prosecuted by the anti-graft body.
All right.
So,
yeah, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
So in a nutshell, there would always be allegation of corruption, and I'm trying to find a public officer or a politician who has not been accused. Even the Peter Obi and his fever, the Peter Obi fever that is revving the air in Nigeria, has a lot of things to say about corruption. Yesterday I was talking to a chieftain who was speaking to me about the rising profile of Peter Obi. I told him, and please permit me for this digress, and I told him, I said, politics is about the game of persuading people. But sometimes 50 to 60% of what politicians use to spinning are not true. I know for a fact that so many of the statements and campaign talking point of Peter Obi cannot be substantiated, but that is his strategy, and it is winning for him, and it continues to go on.
So what are you saying? You're saying it can be substantiated. What do you mean by that?
So I give you an example. Peter Obi was quoted. I've seen a number of videos where he said he doesn't wear materials that are valued more than Primark. That most of the times, Primark is all that he wore. In 2018, I met with Peter Obi in London Heathrow in Louis Vuitton shop, where Peter Obi shop for himself Louis Vuitton materials. So,
do you have evidence of this meeting? Because you say you met with him in Louis Vuitton. Do you have evidence of, because a lot of people are watching and they're going to take you up on it, that you said you met Peter Obi in Louis Vuitton.
Let me give you more facts about that.
Give me more facts.
Actually, what happened was that earlier in the day, I was in the residence of Prince Atueze here in London, and Peter Obi came. So Peter Obi was coming from the US to Nigeria, but passed through London to say hello to Prince Atueze. So we chatted. Prince Atueze introduced me to him. I didn't even know he was going back to Nigeria that day, but I was, and I went to see Prince Atueze. So that evening, I now went to London Heathrow, and I saw him. I greeted him. In fact, if you push further, maybe all I need to do is to go back to all my previous trips in 2018 when I traveled to London. I'll be able to know the date and the time. But if you are talking of
get the facts out, because Bwala, a lot of people react to that. That you said you saw Peter Obi in Louis Vuitton.
I'll give you. I know Peter. Yeah, if you know Peter Obi's followers are Talibanic. Recently they visited
it's not good to
somebody who.
It's not good to express a following like that. It's not good to say, okay, they have a right to follow passionately whoever they follow, just like the followers of Bola Tinubu, just like the followers of Atiku Abubakar. Okay, let's move across board to other political issues. Olusegun Obasanjo just said that one of his greatest mistakes was his number 2 vice president. What do you say about the statement?
I feel that he is politicking, and why I say he's politicking is because Baba Olusegun has been inconsistently consistent and consistently inconsistent. You have seen over the years how he will pick Mr. A as a presidential candidate because he has grievance with Mr. B, and tomorrow he changes his mind to Mr. B and he doesn't want Mr. A, and has misled Nigerians with the greatest respect in that regard. He was the first to say Atiku will never be president, but at some point when he turned his back from Buhari, he picked up Atiku and started campaigning. And he knew of this fact that he's saying now. And then thirdly, so he spin information to suit a certain narrative. Everybody knows that presently he's supporting Peter Obi and not Atiku.
So how are you sure that? How do we know that he's supporting Peter Obi? How did Obasanjo come out to confirm that?
Yes. If you Google President Olusegun Obasanjo support Peter Obi, you will see one of the visits that certain individuals paid to him in Abeokuta, where it was reported. If you just Google it, or I'll Google later and I'll say to you where it was
the picture they had together, that's been debunked as fake news, that was a parody account. That was a parody account of Olusegun Obasanjo endorsing Peter Obi. So it was a parody account.
Okay, so I'm glad that you... no, the thing is, it was published, so I'm glad that as a journalist, you have probably done investigation and come to that conclusion.
Particular account was Olusegun Obasanjo's parody account. I think Obasanjo even had to come out to talk about that, So because we just want to get the facts, just like you've not given me the facts of, when you said you saw Peter Obi in a Louis Vuitton store, I'm a man of facts, and we want every part of facts.
But we are talking on phone. It does not give you the opportunity for me to see you and show you a form. So it is something you will have to schedule another day to say I should then come up with facts. Yeah, so it's not conclusive that I've not given you a fact. You just said I should provide the fact. So you give me time to be able to produce that. But in the case of in the case of Baba Olusegun Obasanjo, now he said it was the greatest mistake he made for picking Atiku. Now, if you want to take him on that, all you need to do is to look at what they achieved together with Atiku, the reforms that they introduced to Nigeria, most of whom were credited to Atiku. Is that also part of his regret? I think that Obasanjo's problem with Atiku, as is well documented, everyone knows, was when he was going for the second time and Atiku objected. That was when their problem started. Before then, he was everything. When Atiku invited him to come and commission his university, he did not question the source of the wealth. They were all good. But from that day on, they began to have problems. I recall that they had about 13 cases at the time, and Atiku won 11 of those cases at the time Obasanjo was leaving government. And the remaining 2 were then still subsisting in the court of law. So how do I then arrive at the conclusion? Is it his opinion now or documented case? He has lost cases against Atiku. In the case of corruption that he has always picked against Atiku, he has investigated Atiku more than any other politician during his time. I remember Ribadu was all over the map to go and fetch evidence. He has not been able to establish a case for which Atiku would have been charged to court. Atiku has been out of office since 2007. Till date, Atiku has not been indicted or charged. So am I to pander in the direction of sentiment now or in the direction of law and proof? You have just talked about substantiating something. He has not been able to substantiate. So he's speeding.
So what you're saying is that Obasanjo can't substantiate any, corruption against Atiku Abubakar. That's the fact you're throwing down.
What I'm saying is he has not been able to substantiate and cannot substantiate. Yeah,
okay, and cannot substantiate. Let's move on. There are other candidates too. What's your look at other candidates? You think it's just these three candidates, or you think we might have a surprise? There's Showore there too. Showore says he stands a good chance. There's Kachiku there. There are a couple of them up.
Showore.
Yeah.
Showore is a friend. Even yesterday we chatted. His Sahara reporters interviewed me a few days ago. But I hold the view that Showore is playing a very good role. One thing about politics is you may vie for a post, you may not win the election, but you can win the narrative. Showore has been pushing the envelope. And I think Showore is a lot of young people into running for office in Nigeria. To me, that is his presidential achievement. But as for whether he will win the presidency of Nigeria, I think not. I think not, because as a politician, I know it's just like Peter Obi, that for you to win election in Nigeria, you have to have structure in all geopolitical zones of the country. When we talk about structure, we're talking about places where you have agents, you have pollsters, you have people physically that will not only vote for you, they will protect your vote. This is how you can get to know whether a candidate has a chance. Showore's political party cannot be established, in my view, strongly in even a single state. The same way I will make the case that Peter Obi may not be able to win the Southeast itself.
So you're saying Peter Obi can win the Southeast. Why do you think so? What's your fact? And I also want to ask you, a lot of people are asking here that why is it that the two top guns, Atiku Abubakar and Bwala Tinubu, that they've not faced the press for any key interview, that they could just keep sending surrogates? They say, when are they going to talk to Nigerians? That's what they're asking here.
I will tell you what I think, because these two candidates you mentioned, Asiwaju and Atiku, they are individuals I know personally, so it's not like a distant knowledge. I know them personally. And politicians are strategic. The Electoral Act now has given a latitude of time. We have up to 6 months. Nobody will afford for a gaffe in the early days of the campaign. So they will, at this stage, it is the stage of sending surrogate to test the microphone. Now, when they test the waters...
But people argue that other candidates have been speaking, other candidates have been speaking, that when will they come? A lot of people are saying they want them on VOP, that they want Rufai to interview them. I had Peter Obi last week. We're going to have more of these candidates across, but when are they going to come?
Let me tell you, if I can give you my commitment, if you want to interview either of these two, I can guarantee you give...
Can you help me? Can you help me make it happen? And I have Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu right here on VOP Radio. Can you make it happen for me?
On radio is what I don't know, but if you can take your camera crew to meet him, I will guarantee that.
Okay.
Because the politicians are not, except if the politician is, of course, a young person like Peter Obi, but this type of established politicians are not wired for that. They have to first, if you come on a lead, carry your camera crew to go and have a sit down with him, or carry a camera and have a sit down with that people. These two, I can guarantee you, I can schedule that.
Okay. I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one. Daniel, I want to ask you about the manifestos. A lot of them have not really even shown us what they want to do for Nigeria. All of them across board. Nobody has brought out a concrete manifesto. What do you think about that?
I think Atiku has done that. I think I've come across, through a WhatsApp group, I've come across what he tagged as my vision for Nigeria. It is quite comprehensive of the things he wanted to do. In fact, I began comparing that with what a support group of Asiwaju, not Asiwaju campaign itself, but the support group of Asiwaju released what they said was manifesto of Asiwaju, which he has denied, but of course may not be far from what will come out. And of course, because he has denied that, because it should come from his campaign and not from one of the support groups. So I even began comparing that. So I will just give you an example of what I interrogated in the manifesto of Atiku. I looked at education. He is making the case that he supports the idea of taking education back to states, and the federation should take his hands off. And he's borrowing that from the American point of view. So a lot of questions are now coming. when states are going comatose economically, that you have to build them out. If you now devolve education to state, then how can states be able to drive education? But the counter argument against that is true federalism. So we cannot be asking for it, and then in B we are picking against it. If you ask for true federalism, you are saying that the items such as education should naturally be with the state. You know, even if you go to America, states form standards. There is a federal standard for states, form their own standard and their own education. So he is doing that. But if you look at Asiwaju's manifesto, because it's more or less a socialist ideology. So, and you know that socialist ideology believes strongly in a strong federal government.
But you just said Tinubu has not released the manifesto, so you can't compare it based on something that has not been released.
Exactly. I said that is a manifesto.
So you can't compare. It's a manifesto because his team has come out to say that they didn't put that in place. So,
definitely. I can't even rely on that. I can't even rely on that. But I know that the support group is a support group endorsed by him. So all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, it will be far from there.
Okay, a lot of people are saying, why can't these top candidates, Atiku and Tinubu, come do a live interview? They said they don't want us to take cameras there. They want them to come live so that they can ask them questions live, like we're asking you questions live now. And a lot of people are saying, you said they are old. I mean, so does it mean that they're too old for us to lead the country? That they want to ask them question live?
I think I retract the word old and replace it with the word experience. That's what I actually should have said. But in terms of coming live, it's too early. Even if you go to America, there will come a time where there will be this contestation for what they call debate. So that debate period, and I can make the case for, because if 2023 election, we want it to be a robust one, we need journalists like you who nobody can, point at and call affiliation to one political party or the other one. Two, people believe that you're radical in your way of interrogation and you do not have any leaning to anybody. So we can make the case that the debate, not a commission, but the debate group that are planning that should bring someone like you. I know that there are certain politicians that may be frightened if they know your history, of questioning, because I've listened to quite a couple of your interviews on Arise TV where guests were really held to ransom. So
we just do the job. We just stick to the facts as much as we can.
I agree. I agree. So for somebody to be able to face you, the person has to know what he wants to say in and out. Number two, composure, and number three, not be intimidated by any question. Because one thing in interview is I have the answer or I postpone the answer, although I don't answer it at all. Either way, I have answered the person. So, and the surrogate need to do more also in preparing their principles. But there will come a time when this debate will be called upon. But I think it's too early. No experienced politician will be early. See, Peter Obi is all over the mic, and that is what has given him popularity. But
why aren't others all over the mic? Why is Atiku?
Because he is. That is his strength.
Why are they not all over the mic?
So I give you a good example. And you talked about surrogacy. Surrogacy is a business. It's a consultancy service.
It's consultancy.
So when you spread surrogates, that means you have consulted them. Peter Obi is a known economist, frugal economist. He doesn't give anybody shishi. So he has to be the one to go and surrogate for himself. That is one reason why he's all over as compared to these other politicians. And two, his philosophy will hurt him in the election. You can't do
Why
politics.
do you think it will hurt him?
Because you need funds to run election. In America, Barack Obama did not even have 1/4 of what Peter Obi has as a businessman. So Barack Obama did crowdfunding in such a way that he had enough money to run the campaign. But the bottom line is money. Peter Obi has not generated the money, and he said he won't give the money. So let me give you an example.
A lot of people are saying that you're just here to attack Peter Obi because we talked about the candidate first. I mean, that's what they are.
Let me tell you something.
This is the reaction by the people, and that's why I like radio because I'm seeing the comments. I'm reading them straight to you. Yeah,
I agree, but let me tell you something. Peter Obi is one of the individuals in the last 7 days I have consistently talked about with my friends as a rising profile in this politics. In fact, yesterday I was talking to a politician. And I said, if Peter Obi and Kwankwaso form alliance, I'm afraid that the 2023 election will now be won by a party other than APC and PDP. This is the extent to which I value Peter. In terms of ideology, and ideological principles of economy and the rest. I think that for now, nobody has matched it. But you know, in our politics in Nigeria, you have to match that with infrastructure of politics. Because one is the ideology, two, the infrastructure of politics that will then give you the vote.
But a lot of people are saying that the infrastructure of politics these parties have is bribery and corruption. That's what they're saying. And they were even referring to the case of the bullion van the last time. What do you say about all of that?
The answer is very simple. You see, the bullion van, now, first of all, if you have more money that cannot be carried by a certain means, you look at the best way to ferry the money. The question I would rather be concerned is one.
Daniel, you're saying it's permissible to drive bullion vans around.
So what I'm saying is, I'm about to attack that. What I would be concerned is if there is a law that prohibits the use of bullion van by a private individual to ferry money, then I would be concerned about that. If there is a law. If there is no law, but that getting the bullion van depends on your capacity to pay for it, then I don't have a problem. Thirdly,
so it's safe for people to drive bullion vans around town. That's what you're saying. So if me and you want to hang out,
he used it on election day.
Yeah. So if me and you want to hang out, we can take a bullion van to pack some of our hangout stuff, right?
The reason why we can't do that is because one is hangout, and two, it does not require the money that the bullion van will do. It does not require the money bullion van will do. You get what I'm saying? So you have to contextualize them. There is so much frenzy about this bullion van thing. My concern is no.
It's not me. I've seen questions.
I get that. It's a good question, but if the law does not prohibit that, that's not an issue. But let me get back to the same infrastructure of election, because some people think, and I think that may be the reason why your listeners, maybe somebody talked about that corruption thing. You don't have to be corrupt to raise enough money to run election.
Okay.
Alexander Ocasio-Cortez in the Bronx in New York generated money and won election, and yet she was a bartender. Peter Obi has a profile that will generate more than 50 billion for him if it is required and permissible by law. The reason Peter Obi has not been able to take advantage of that is because he knows when he starts that, the question that the people will ask is, how much have you yourself from your investment earmarked for this purpose? I'm saying that because I ran for office. And I had to raise a certain amount. I had to raise a certain amount to tell the people that I am serious about what I'm doing. It's like a seed sowing. You have to demonstrate that. If you don't have money, people will generate for you. If you do have, they will first say, how much are you bringing to the table? Then we can come and support you. It's the general principle of life. I can't be asking you for financial assistance to run a project, and I can't tell you this is how much I've been able to generate. He has not done that. And he has the capacity to generate the initial funds that will help establish his structure in the 6 geopolitical zones. Peter Obi can safely raise 2 billion naira without collapsing in business. He's a multi-billionaire in naira. He hasn't been able to do that. So he cannot naturally win the pockets of these same people that are canvassing for him. For now, he has won their brains, but he has not been able to win their pockets. And
the supporters can bring out money from him. That's what you're saying.
So far, they have not been able to do that. So far, they have not been able. And they will even be under intense pressure. So
you're saying
when the election
Peter Obi's supporters cannot crowdfund for him? They can't bring money out.
They can crowdfund, but so far they have not done that. Okay. And my assumption is that they are probably waiting for him to say, this is the fund. Have you not had Bill Gates, all of these philanthropists,
when they are in America,
they're forming a foundation?
Yeah.
Yes. When they are opening a foundation, they will first donate money from their private pocket. This is the endowment for this foundation, and we call on others to fund this foundation. Has he done that? Is a question you should help me put to his followers. And I am saying, because it's an assumption, that the reason why there has not been excitement in the pocket as much as it is in the brain is because he needs to lead by example. That is all I'm trying to say. If Peter Obi can raise the funds, Peter Obi is a political capital. Any of these parties, APC or PDP, need him to win election. That's the extent. And if you carry his frenzy and rising profile with the structure that Kwankwaso has in the Northwest, believe me, there's going to be a game changing. But they have not even been able to settle because both of them are wanting to be the presidential candidate of the party. So at the end of the day, you will see that Peter Obi will make all the, he will generate the traction, and at the 11th hour, either of them will negotiate with one of the leading political parties. Mark this thing and revisit it when that time comes.
Okay, I'll get somebody to just talk a little bit too in this interview, but I'll take you to the very end till 11. And maybe you can even start the conversation. I'll try to call Diso in, just to ask him about this. Is it to analyze politics? Just to ask him about this new craze now by celebrities. I'm sure you'll have seen this the picture of Tonto Dike, coming out to be deputy
governor in Rivers.
Candidate, in Rivers.
And then Emana Amawe, that was formerly with Channels. She's also TV. A deputy governorship candidate in Cross River.
Yeah. All right. Let me just quickly take Diso. Diso, real quickly, I want you to jump on the conversation. Diso, what's your take on celebrities coming out to run for position? Hold on a minute, Daniel. We'll still come back to you. Celebrities coming out to run for positions. What's your take about this, Diso?
That's a very interesting one. I think I would draw an example of how artists can use their art in politics. In 2008, in America, there's this thing they do in America called the late night. Night, all these funny people then will gather for television, they will crack jokes, right?
Yeah.
One guy, they call him Stephen Colbert. In 2008, he said, I want to run for president. And he said, you know what I'm going to do? There's this thing in American politics that they call PAC, Political Action Committee.
Yeah, PAC.
Where
they raise money.
If you are running for office and you tell people to donate to your PAC, you don't need to disclose where the money is going to. You don't need to disclose where you are spending. So Stephen Colbert set up this PAC and then said, everybody donate to my campaign. A few weeks before the election, he said, I'm not doing it again. I quit, I resign, and I'm going to spend your money on holiday. What he did there was that he showed the American people in a funny way how messed up their political system was. Right? In Nigeria today, we have people that are whether they live in needs, whether they really have any plans. But what I would like to see with a lot of these people that are running for deputy governor, House of Reps, all of these positions is to say, how can you use your position to educate the Nigerian people on both the good and the bad of the political process? That's my opinion.
Thank you so much for your take on this one. I'm sure you just listen, from the radio. Daniel Bwala too have his own take on it. Then we'll also take some calls as regards that. Daniel, you want to talk about that phenomenon real quickly? That phenomenon of people like Tonto Dike and celebrities, stars getting into politics and how they can raise money. Because some people said they saw Tonto Dike with a convoy, and people were like, so soon? Jesus Christ, she just announced for deputy governor and then she's got a convoy already.
Yeah, I feel extremely excited when I see celebrities making good what they have been talking about. You see, we cannot affect change in the country until we take part in politics. And as soon as celebrities start taking part in politics, it means we have begun the social re-engineering of a takeover in our political process. And at the beginning, there will be, hiccups, one mistake or the other, like the case of the convoy, because she's coming into this political process with the mindset of the celebrity line. She will learn it. When there is a backlash, she will adjust. Right. There are others who will come in with a certain perspective. There is a backlash, they will adjust. But I really welcome the idea, as celebrities are more likely to crowdfund and get the money than established businessmen and politicians because of trust.
Okay. Did you hear that? Did you hear that perspective? Because we'll also open up the phone lines soon. Did you hear that perspective by Daniel? He just said, they can do a whole lot and they can gain traction. Are you still there, Disu?
Yes, Rufai.
Okay. So that's one about the perspective. But we'll open it up for phone lines. I've got my colleague at we'll open it up for phone lines and the likes, and we'll just keep the conversation going up. But you can also call us up on 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. So okay, a lot of people really passionate about the candidates you have mentioned, and they are saying things like, then which candidate, okay, we've got a call from Texas. Let's see if we can take it down or just stay on the line. Hello, how are you? Hello.
Hello, Rufai.
Morning, yeah.
Hello, Rufai.
Yeah, great to have you. What's your name? You're calling from Texas.
Yes, my name is Leo Kange. I'm calling from Texas.
All right.
First, I want to commend you for the good work, you do. You speak truth to power, and also the activities you carry on, especially this evening, about helping people who are going through a lot of stuff. Primarily, this issue about structure being said by Mr. Daniel Bwala about structure. As a young man he is, and he's not seeing the change that is actually gripping Nigeria today, I really wonder, my question to him is, he should actually define structure in true sense of structure, rather than talking about, they're talking about structures without clear definition. Everything they talk about structure, there is no definition. Because you clearly said, as others have been talking, that structures, they're talking about dividing money. The money, the people dividing money this time around is not going to work because people have realized. An example of it is APC. PDP came second. APC allegedly was sharing money and buying votes. Those are the things they should look at and actually tell us what the structure is.
Okay. So, Daniel, can you hear that? Thank you so much for that. So that we take.
We're talking about the real thing about structure is the people who are on ground already. I see it every day. People go around canvassing already.
My brother, so that we quickly take Daniel's reaction to that. But I appreciate you so much, Yemi. So we can take all the calls. Disu, apologies. It's still on the phone. Daniel, did you hear that? Hello, Daniel?
No, the call was, I was placed on hold.
Okay, you were placed on hold.
I was placed on hold.
He said you should define structure. That because a lot of people keep saying structure. You said define structure. Okay. And this too, I wanted to have your take on that. Just hold on the other line. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I should define structure, right?
Yeah.
A political structure is a political machinery of a politician where he has what we call foot soldiers, structured foot soldiers. So not just voters. Voters come on the voting day and vote for you. You don't know them. You don't have a relationship with them. A structure means in every polling unit in Nigeria, in every ward in Nigeria, you should have agents. You have one who records what is tabulated. You have one who observes and, if possible, uses mobile device to record any malpractice there. Then you have the third one, who is the one that will sign for you, your agent that will sign for you. After election result is announced, agents of political candidates sign for them. So in a ward, in a polling unit, you have 3. You multiply that by all the polling units in that ward, in that local government, in that state, and in the country. Means you have a political structure for election, to execute election and win. The second part, the advanced the definition of political structure, is a politician ensuring that in the political party he belongs to, the executives of that political party across all levels, from the local government right to the national, he has individuals that he partners with. So if there are no people that by arrangement you nominated, then there should be people you have partnership where they can protect your interests in the course of the electioneering process. When you have that spread across Nigeria, it will be said you have political structure. Human beings that have your interests, that align with you, and that are all under your recruitment to protect your interests in all the places. Okay. This is what we mean by political structure.
This one, you want to say something a little bit about structure?
Sure. I'll give you something very brief. I think the question was what. I think all familiar with saying, don't what you do, who you know. And that is the way I look at the structure that everybody is speaking out about the place in current policy right now. It's really about who you know and the kinds of people. There are people in the media, there are people in the security agencies, there are people in the civil society space, there are people in the business community, there are people in the academic community. That is your structure. But of course, some structures are more structured than other structures. Right?
Some structures are more structured than other structures.
Yes, of course. Some buildings are more easier than others. From buildings, right? So by that, you may know more people. You may have a stronger relationship with that space, and so on and so on and so on and so on. But at the end of the day, it's all you know.
So you're asking the question: how many governors does Obi know? Right? That's structure for you. You're asking the question: how many governors does Peter Obi know? Can that be also a part of the conversation of structure for you?
That is one pillar.
That's one pillar of structure.
That's one pillar of structure. Okay. The governors know.
I would debunk that.
Even everyone else. Yes.
Okay, so Daniel, you want to debunk that knowing the governor is not a pillar of structure. Talk to me about that, Daniel.
At all. In fact, knowing the governor is a worse form of deception that I've realized in politics. I will give you a graphic example of our presidential primary election. There were individuals that because they paid 1 or 2 courtesy visits to a governor, and the governor promised that he would deliver votes for them, they made the assumption that they have captured the state. When we came down to our election primaries, in those states where the man has visited, Asiwaju swept the state with votes. The reason is because in all the states and local government and executive of our party APC, Asiwaju has 1 or 2 individuals that he personally nominated directly or through his generals in those states into the various posts.
Okay.
These individuals in the respective places now went beyond that to ensure that they gather the delegates to have a conversation with them about voting. Now, the problem with the new media politicians is that they are mistaking the social media relevance as translating into physical structure. It has been analyzed, and I think by statistics, that in Nigeria, more than 55% of people who are very active on social media don't turn out for election on that day. So structure are those people that are willing to take the, if you permit me use the word, take the shit for you. But these educated elites that are behind this social media, even when they go out to register for NIN, after 1 hour they're angry and they walk away. But these people that have been taught of the importance and relevance of delivering a candidate, they will be there from morning till evening. That is the difference between real structures and the people he called respectfully as a structure of structures or superstructure or whatever. Okay. And until we're able to reconcile these two, no politician will win election in Nigeria whose influence is only on social media but does not translate to physical infrastructure.
Right, Disu, thank you so much for your time because we need to wrap things up now. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for your time, Disu. Thank you so much. Daniel, thank you so much. Can we just sneak in one call, 1 minute call, 30 seconds
no
call?
Problem.
Before I allow you enjoy your Sunday. Daniel, so sorry. I took you out of your Sunday. It's only me now that can do it to you now. You're my man now. It's only me.
Only you.
Only me. Thank you so much. Can we get a call quick? 0700 903 903 903. I've been seeing somebody calling from France. I think France is +34 or something. He's been trying to get across. So, if you can call back, we've seen other calls. 0700 903 903 903. Okay. If there's no other call, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Daniel Bwala, for your time. And please go ahead and subscribe. Oh, we got a call. Let's take this last call. Let's just take this. Just hold on, Daniel. Let's take this last call. Hello, how are you? You have 30 seconds. What's your name?
My name is calling from Cape.
Yeah, go ahead. 30 seconds.
Thank you. Daniel, I would say that he's here to campaign for APC. He's not really talking to the mind of the people or explaining the policies in
I can't hear you properly. Oh. Your lines are muffled.
To be that thing, I think.
I can't really hear you, honestly. If I can, I would have continued with this call. Oh, but I think what he was trying to say is that you came to campaign against Peter Obi. That you didn't face your candidate, that you quickly segued it. That's what they're accusing you of, Daniel. Okay, somebody from...
I only reacted to questions.
Okay, you only reacted to questions. Let's see if we can take this call. Hello, how are you doing? From France, Abi?
Hello, Mr. Rufai. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Where are you calling from? Oh, Spain. Oh, +34 is Spain. Okay, blind me. What's your name? Where in Spain are you calling from?
I'm calling from Palma de Mallorca.
Palma de Mallorca. Mallorca. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, sir. Quickly, before we wrap up.
Yeah, Mr. Rufai, first of all, I want to thank you very much for your good work you are doing.
Thank you.
I want to respond to Mr. Daniel and those that are saying Peter Obi has no structure. The people are the structure. When it comes to the time of the election, those 3 people he's talking about, each polling unit would have more than 3 persons and devices they will use in recording those activities of the political system on that day. The youth are not happy. Nigerians are not happy with the way Nigeria is today. We live in a Western world where you don't pray to have social amenities. Those that have structure, what have they done for the country, Nigeria? Mr. Daniel lives in UK or he has been traveling to UK. What he's saying in UK, do you mean these people that travel out of Nigeria, they cannot bring it back to Nigeria? So we are not talking about structure here. We are talking about taking back this country from these politicians. The youth are ready to be the structure of Peter Obi. So we want to be obedient and take back our country and make this work. We are living in Western. We want to come back home. There is no good road, no health care, no security. You cannot travel from Lagos to Benin. You cannot travel from Abuja to Kaduna. What are they saying? Talking about structure. A young man like Mr. Daniel, you are supporting the old politicians that have taken us this far. Please, we have structure. We have structure. Okay. The youth have structure. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. As Voice of the People will give you a voice. Let me quickly call back Mr. Daniel Bwala, and maybe he'll just give us the final closing. Saying, okay. Oh, a lot of people are still trying to call in. Please, because we have to go now. Let's just quickly call back Mr. Daniel Bwala. We can't take any more calls. Okay. Okay, good. Hello, Ogami. Can you hear me?
Hello, the line cut off.
Yeah. No, we had a call from Spain. So what the person was just saying, in essence, if you can just help us summarize in 30 seconds, is the fact that don't join the old folks, that they have structure, that they are part of the Obi team. What do you say about people like that? That call and say
three weeks ago, I was with Peter Obi. Although we did not talk, we were just across each other. I wanted to really have a sit down with him and give him my idea on how he can translate his popularity into having fiscal structure. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, somebody must win election. And that's my answer to the other person. Somebody must win election. And if these leading political parties are the ones that are established, then what we needed to do, like I've always said, is not to run away from the political party and set up another political party when we have the problem of time and resources. No, it's to populate the existing political party and disrupt it and take over.
Okay. My brother, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Go have a great Sunday, right? We'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much for being.
I appreciate
and
that.
Definitely, we'll still have to bring you on as we bring other people on Voice of the People VOP at 90.3. Thank you so much for your time. Daniel Bwala was joining me from London. That's about it. That's the show for you today. Thank you guys so much. Please go subscribe to Voice of the People 90.3 for all the exciting content. Voice of the People 90.3. Thank you so much. All our 20,000 subscribers now are here. We have 90.6K subscribers.